Yo, what is going on, guys? It's the one and only one Hennis, and today I am bringing another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video over here onto the KARNAGE clan channel. Now today, guys, what you're going to be watching is actually a 67 gun streak by KARNAGE Dismo. He's playing uplink here on the map Rupture in the Mechsuit. That's right, guys, you're going to be watching a 67 gun streak nuclear in the Mechsuit by KARNAGE Dismo. Now, if you guys aren't aware, the Mechsuit is actually a vehicle that was added onto the DLC 4 Rupture map as part of the DLC 4 Salvation map packs for Black Ops 3. And this is the first time we've ever seen a vehicle in a Black Ops 3 map, which is incredibly cool. And the fact that KARNAGE Dismo manages to not only get a nuclear with it, but also go on a 67 gun streak is just insane. Keep in mind, guys, this map that he's playing on Rupture is a very large map. And of course, he's going to be playing in a 6-man party, so we can make sure that he can keep the score down and go into overtime to make the game last as long as possible. That's why he's playing uplink, because he wants to get as many kills as he possibly can. But just the simple fact that this map is so huge and the Mechsuit all by itself moves incredibly slowly just goes to show how well KARNAGE Dismo manages to play this game. So hopefully you guys will go ahead and enjoy today's video. If you guys do, please be sure to go ahead and smack a like, guys. That would definitely mean a lot to me and to Dismo for bringing you guys this gameplay. If we can go ahead and smash 1,000 likes on this video, that would be amazing. Make sure you guys also go ahead and subscribe to KARNAGE Clan if you guys are new. We're going to be bringing you guys amazing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 gameplays all the way up until the release of the Infinite Warfare beta, which we are actually less than 2 weeks away from getting, which is really exciting. But hopefully you guys will stay tuned for the amazing gameplays we'll be bringing you guys then. And make sure you guys subscribe to KARNAGE Dismo as well. If you guys actually don't know who this guy is, that's perfectly fine, because he's actually a recent recruit to KARNAGE Clan. And the reason we picked him up was because he comes out with amazing gameplays. This guy was actually the person who also got the world's first nuclear in the Mechsuit, which is just insane. So if that all by itself is not enough of a reason for you guys to go ahead and check out his channel, then I don't know what is. He's going to be pumping out amazing content as we move into Infinite Warfare. And if you guys do enjoy the commentary as well, make sure you guys come check out my channel. My link will also be down there in the description below. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into today's commentary topic. So when I first got this commentary, it was sent to me over Skype by Apollo, and I clicked on the video, and the first thing I noticed obviously was how insane the gameplay was. But then the second thing that I noticed is that this commentary is actually over 8 minutes long, which that makes this video actually the longest commentary I will ever have to do on a KARNAGE video. So I thought to myself, I need to come up with a topic that's going to be able to last 8 minutes, but I also want it to be engaging. I want it to be something that you guys are actually going to be interested in. I didn't want to talk about some random news story or something that's maybe going on in pop culture. I wanted to talk about something that you guys are going to be able to relate to. If you're watching this video, chances are that you're actually a pretty big fan of Call of Duty if you're watching Call of Duty gameplays on YouTube. So what I figured we'd go over here are the good and the bad things that we need to have in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So I've assembled a quick little list here of things that we really enjoy within Call of Duty games, or that I personally think really makes a Call of Duty game good and really makes a Call of Duty game bad. And so these are some things that I want Infinity Ward to keep in mind when they release Infinite Warfare and when they continue to release updates for Infinite Warfare in the future. So we'll go over the good first, and then we'll go over the bad. So the good, one of the huge things that I really like that Treyarch did here in Black Ops 3 was they added longevity. And the way they really did that was making it an option to level up all the way up to level 1000. This was a really good move on Treyarch's part. The reason they did this, in my opinion, was because they're kind of banking on the fact that maybe Infinite Warfare may not be a fan favorite game, and so they want to give people an incentive to continue to play the game. But not only that, there are people who are really good at Black Ops 3, right? So these are people who can get to Master Prestige, who can get all the way up to level 55, Prestige 10, in the matter of the first couple weeks that the game is actually released. And at that point, there's really nothing else for them to do unless they want to go for challenges or nuclears or just really high kill gameplays. So the fact that Treyarch added this level 1000 option just really allowed players to grind, and it really gave people more of an incentive, like I said earlier, to continue to play the game. The next thing that makes a Call of Duty game really good, in my opinion, is having multiple challenges. Now, you guys know in Black Ops 3, I'm just using this as a reference point, that we have multiplayer challenges. You know, it's like getting 25 kills with your kill streaks and then getting 50 kills with your kill streaks, and this sort of ranking tier system gives you more of an incentive to use other weapons or use other setups that you wouldn't otherwise be using in your regular gameplay. So just adding something like that forces people to use different weapons and to use different mechanics of the game, and it really allows you to spice up the game a little bit, because I don't know about you guys, but my class setups really haven't changed, I would say, over the last 3 months that I've been playing Black Ops 3, because at this point we found really good class setups that allow us to do really well at the game. So if we spice up our gameplay and our class setups and our score streaks a little bit, it's going to allow us to have more fun. The next good thing for me is having really fast-paced, very adrenaline-pumping gameplay. Now, this is something that really took off when Advanced Warfare was released, because as you guys know, it was the first time we had exosuits and more of an advanced movement system introduced into Call of Duty. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the exo movements, because I do talk about that later in this video as far as the bad section goes. But the reason reason I'm bringing up this fast-paced nature of the game, and the reason I think it's so important as an aspect for Call of Duty, is because when you contrast Call of Duty with a game like Battlefield, where the maps are a little bit bigger, it really doesn't have the same feel when you're running through the maps and you can get from one side of the map all the way to the other in 15 or 30 seconds, I would say. That's probably the average as far as a Call of Duty game goes in Black Ops 3. Whereas in a game like Battlefield, it would probably take you a little bit longer, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds, or maybe even a minute to get to the other side of the map. And so having these very small maps and having maps that allow you to constantly get into the action right after you respawn, being able to instantly respawn and not have to go back to a deploy screen like we have in Battlefield, I think does a whole lot of good for Call of Duty, and it really allows people to hop right back into the action where they don't have a whole lot of delay in between death and respawn. And the last good thing that I want to list here is that Treyarch did a really good job of adding constant DLC. Now, I know a lot of people may not agree with me about this, but adding new guns and new weapons and just new material into the game really keeps Black Ops 3 alive, and it really keeps it fresh, and it allows us content creators to continue to bring out content. But I know a lot of you guys don't necessarily agree with how they're implemented in the game via supply drops, but it still does a really good job of keeping the game alive. Now, as far as all the bad things go, the first thing that we're going to go over for me that really ruins a Call of Duty game is large maps. We really saw this in Call of Duty Ghosts with maps that were too big, with a movement system that really didn't favor these large maps. But in Call of Duty Black Ops 3, we probably could get away with having a bit of a larger map like this one here, Rupture, where you have a more of an advanced movement system. The next thing that really ruins a Call of Duty game, in my opinion, is very bland style maps. Now, this is something that Treyarch does beautifully, in my opinion. They always come out with these really vibrantly colored, very beautiful maps, and Knockout is a perfect example of that. I know it's not a base map in the game, but it is, in my opinion, the most colorful map in this game, and it really gives a much happier feel and a much happier vibe when you're playing on these maps, and I think that sort of has a psychological effect on us while we're playing these games. So having very beautiful maps is something that I think is very important, and in my eyes, Infinity Ward really doesn't do a great job at creating these very colorful maps. They do have very well laid out maps, and they do have very creative maps, but they're not necessarily as colorful or as vibrant. They're more bland, they're more sort of war-torn settings, which is what Infinity Ward has kind of stuck to that style over the course of the years that they've been making Call of Duty games. But just in my opinion, I like more colorful, more vibrant maps. The next thing that I want to cover is complicated class setups or complicated menu screens. This is something that I think Call of Duty has done a really good job at sort of maintaining over the last couple years. Just having a simple class setup menu, being able to customize your emblems and see your barracks, just having that really easy to use, very intuitive menu screen does a whole lot of good for Call of Duty. And when you contrast that with a game like Battlefield, where the menus are a little bit harder to navigate, it really just goes to a show and it really allows you to appreciate how nice the menu screens are in Call of Duty. So as long as they maintain that, I think the game will continue to be very good. And the last thing that I want to cover that it's bad for some people but good for others, and for me, I think it's a good thing, is the exo jumps. Now, the reason I'm saying personally it's a good thing is because I like the fast-paced nature of Call of Duty. I love being able to jump around, having that adrenaline pump through your veins as you're rushing through the map, and just the overall fast-paced nature of Call of Duty is something I really like. And the exo jumps allow you to advance that even more. It allows you to move even faster and get from point A to point B even quicker. But I know some people really do like to stick to the boots on the ground gameplay aspect, and I know the community as a whole is much more favorable towards the boots on the ground gameplay, so that's why I figured I'd add it over here into the bad section. But that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you all did enjoy. If you guys did, please be sure to go ahead and smack a like, guys. That would definitely mean a lot to me. Like I said, if we could hit 1,000 likes, that'd be awesome. Make sure you guys subscribe to Carnage Clan, Dismo, and myself if you guys did enjoy this video. Comment down below hashtag #MechNuclear if you watched me to this point in the video. And anyways, guys, thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until next time, everybody, keep gaming, and as always, stay cool. Adios.